Michel de Nostradamus, better known as Nostradamus, remains one of the most famous, mysterious, and controversial figures in the annals of prophecy. Born in 1503 in the town of Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France, Nostradamus rose to prominence as a seer, astrologer, and physician, but it is his cryptic quatrains, grouped together in Les Prophéties, that have ensured his legacy endures to this day. Widely regarded as a visionary whose predictions spanned centuries, Nostradamus is often hailed as the harbinger of doom, with countless admirers and critics alike pointing to his prophecies as eerily accurate, especially when it comes to moments of catastrophe, war, and global upheaval. Some believe that Nostradamus foresaw the rise of Hitler, the fall of the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001, and even the pandemic of COVID-19. But among the countless verses he left behind, a few stand out as particularly terrifying. Visions of destruction, ominous symbols, and world-altering events that continue to send shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to decipher them. In this article, we take a closer look at 3 of Nostradamus' most terrifying visions and strange omens, each of which suggests a dark future that, for some, might not be as distant as we think. 1. The Great War of the 20th Century, a vision of Hitler's rise, one of Nostradamus' most famous and controversial predictions, involves a dark vision of a man rising to power in Europe, spreading chaos and suffering across the globe. In his quatrains, many scholars and enthusiasts believe that Nostradamus foresaw the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Second World War. One of the most frequently cited passages is Century 2, Quatrain 24. Beasts wild with hunger will cross the rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hyster. Into a cage of iron will the Great One be dragged, when the child of Germany observes nothing. Here, the reference to Hyster is commonly thought to be a misspelling of Hitler, though it also refers to the Danube River, historically called the Ister or Hyster. Nostradamus' words seem uncannily aligned with the rise of the Nazi regime, with Hitler's name being linked to the destruction of much of Europe, particularly through the horrifying horrors of the Holocaust. This prediction is chilling because it not only hints at the devastation that would unfold, but also at the fact that humanity might have been powerless to stop the rise of such a tyrant. Nostradamus' vision suggests an unstoppable force, a beast wild with hunger, that sweeps across borders, leaving destruction in its wake. Though some skeptics dismiss this as coincidence, the parallels between the prophecy and the historical events of World War II are unsettlingly close. The fall of the Twin Towers, a terrifying vision of destruction. Perhaps one of the most iconic and widely debated modern interpretations of Nostradamus' prophecies is his supposed foresight of the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. In his quatrains, Nostradamus frequently mentioned the idea of fire from the sky and the fall of towers, terms that some believe prophetically describe the World Trade Center attacks. The most famous passage, often cited in connection with 9/11, is from Century 1, Quatrain 87. Earth-shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause the towers around the new city to fall. Fire will be seen from the sky. The sky will burn at 45 degrees. While the connection to September 11th may seem tenuous at first glance, the phrase fire from the sky and the idea of towers falling bear an eerie resemblance to the images that gripped the world as the planes struck the World Trade Center in New York. The new city is thought by some to refer to New York, a global financial and cultural hub, often considered a new Rome. The number 45 is also noted by some to reference the presidency of George W. Bush, who was in office when the attacks occurred. Though the quatrain is vague and open to interpretation, the horrific images of the attacks, fire, destruction, and the collapse of monumental towers make this vision of Nostradamus particularly chilling for many, especially those who view it as a prescient warning of the dangers of modern conflict and terrorism. The Great Plague of the 21st century, a warning of global pandemics. Perhaps the most eerie of Nostradamus' predictions in light of the recent global health crisis is his potential foresight of a deadly plague that would devastate the world in the 21st century. Throughout his prophecies, Nostradamus frequently referenced the rise of epidemics, pestilence, and disease, describing events that some believe foreshadow the outbreaks of illnesses such as the Black Death, the Spanish flu, and more recently, COVID-19. One passage that stands out is Century 1, Quatrain 46, very near Auk, a great fire will be seen. The great plague will follow. The beast will be the cause of this illness, which will last for many years. Although this quatrain does not directly mention a specific disease, the combination of plague and illness, paired with the reference to a beast, has led many to interpret this as a prophecy of a global pandemic. Some argue that the beast is a metaphor for the virus itself, something invisible, yet capable of causing widespread devastation. Others believe that the fire may symbolize the burning urgency with which the disease would spread. Nostradamus' warnings about plagues echo throughout his work, and many scholars speculate that he may have been describing the modern rise of viruses like COVID-19, with its ability to spread across countries and continents at an unprecedented rate. The idea of a beast causing such devastation is unsettling, particularly when we consider how diseases in the past have altered the course of human history. The curse of Nostradamus' legacy, interpretation and reality. While Nostradamus' predictions continue to captivate the imagination of many, it's important to remember that his writings are cloaked in mystery and symbolism. His quatrains are intentionally vague, often relying on wordplay, anagrams, and coded language, which makes them open to a wide range of interpretations. This ambiguity is why his prophecies continue to be subject to both praise and skepticism, as people search for connections to events in history and the modern world. What's most terrifying about Nostradamus' predictions is not just their potential accuracy, but the eerie sense that even centuries after his death, his ominous visions still seem to resonate with our world. His ability to foresee world-altering events, including wars, plagues, and the collapse of civilizations, raises the unsettling question of whether humanity is truly at the mercy of forces beyond our control. Perhaps Nostradamus was simply a man who observed the patterns of human history and saw its inevitable cycles of suffering and destruction. Or perhaps he was truly a prophet, gifted with a vision that transcended time. Either way, his top 3 terrifying visions continue to haunt us, reminding us that the future may hold far darker secrets than we care to acknowledge. As we continue to face global challenges, pandemics, political instability, and natural disasters, it's hard not to wonder if the ominous quatrains of Nostradamus still hold a dark truth about the fate of humanity? Could he have truly seen the future? Or is it that history, like a repeating cycle, is destined to repeat itself? In either case, the eerie legacy of Nostradamus remains an unsettling reminder that the unknown and the terrifying may always be just around the corner.